Hello, whiskey fans, and welcome to episode 2 of Two Nimrods Drinking Whiskey, the only show of its kind on the internet. Where else in the online world can you find two people talking about something they know nothing about, while at the same time managing to look like jackasses? So please join me, Norm, my co-host, drinking buddy, and most of all, fellow Nimrod, Brian.
Hi, I too am a Nimrod.
And join us as we continue our journey through the wonderful world of whiskey. So that being said, how's it going with you today, Brian?
It's going okay. It's going okay. Looking forward to trying our first Scotch here together. I'm pretty excited about it. It's a pretty special one. But before we get into it, I just want to remind all the viewers, in case you haven't figured it out, we are pure amateurs. Our opinions are meritless, thoughtless, but they will be honest.
I'd like to thank our viewers at home for tuning in, and I'm going to assume everybody here is a first-time viewer, because if anybody watched our first episode, I'm sure they're doing something a little bit more interesting at the moment, like maybe driving a casual acquaintance to the airport at 5 a.m., or maybe helping their grandmother trim their toenails.
Well, and with that introduction,
it wasn't our best episode, we'll say. It almost made me stop drinking whiskey.
What will we be putting Grandma's toenails in today?
Well, today, Brian, I'm glad you asked. Today we venture across the Atlantic to the rich and fertile lands of Scotland as we drink and discuss the MaCallan15 Triple Cask Matured.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes, I'm very excited for this. I've had one of their 15s before. I had the 15 Fine Oak. I have not had the Triple Cask Matured yet.
And I believe that it is at this point where I will say it is the wood that makes it good.
Yeah. In whiskey, as it is in life. The MaCallan is one of Scotland's oldest and largest distilleries. It's in the Speyside region in the town of Aberlour, which is up near the northern coast, kind of surrounded by the Highlands region. And it's also kind of known as the heartland of whiskey production, because the Speyside region actually has like well over 50 distilleries. Pretty much can't swing a dead cat in Speyside without hitting a distillery.
Well, fantastic. Yeah, so Speyside is a region that tends to, as I understand it, be relatively mellow in the use of peat, and that Speyside is where you're more likely to find unpeated or kind of low peated whiskeys, which as newbies to Scotch, that's kind of where I'm drawn to.
And you mentioned about the it's good for newbies into Scotch. It was actually my gateway Scotch.
Oh.
As I'd mentioned how before I got a MaCallan shirt at a vendor conference, which I started wearing, and then people just assumed I drank MaCallan, so they started buying me MaCallan and giving me MaCallan. But also, like since it's not as peaty, it's kind of smoother, so it doesn't scare off the first-time whiskey drinkers. First timers should not be jumping into like a Lagavulin or.
No.
Well, it's like back in like when Guinness and the craft beers first started coming to the States back in the early 90s.
Sure.
Yeah, I drank Budweiser all the time. Then I tried a Guinness, and oh my God, I thought I would never drink that ever again. It was going from water to like heavily flavored charred malt. Right. And now Guinness is my go-to safety beer whenever I just want a beer and be happy.
And who doesn't want a beer and be happy?
Exactly. And some other fun facts I've read about MaCallan is they are very invested in their oak. In their barrels. They've actually spent millions of pounds a year on wood management.
You've been waiting all day to say that.
Oh, all day long. As soon as I read that one, I'm like, oh, Brian's going to love this one. Got to respect the company that spends millions in wood management.
For sure, for sure.
The MaCallan Triple Cask Matured 15. It's a marriage of 15-year-old single malt aged in American sherry cask, European sherry butts, and American ex-bourbon barrels. It makes the flavors richer and deeper and stronger. Notes of orange, zest, and chocolate creams.
You had me at Sherry's butt.
But it's European sherry butts.
Exotic.
It's where you get your deeper notes.
Oh boy.
Oh God. You know, I think not only is the Scotch 15, but so is our humor. Should we get to the drinking?
I think we should. So you've already shown off the bottle. I don't have the bottle to show off. I have this flask, which is actually from that same bottle. I won't say who, but a little birdie sent me some of this from quite some distance away, and now we're going to have an equipment malfunction as I can't open the flask.
It twists. It's a twist. Are you trying to pull it? Twist it.
No, I'm turning it. My little girly hands can't open it.
Get your wife if you need help opening
All right, I
it.
didn't mean to insult any of you women out there. My
So
little
you're saying
boy
it's long
hand
hands?
can't open it. We'll be right back after these messages. Any possible momentum we had going on this show has been completely lost. I had to go to Home Depot to get a pliers to open this thing.
Thought maybe you just went next door and asked the 9-year-old girl to open it for you.
Same thing. All right.
So we are pouring.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with just a little splash in my glass.
I want to pour from my bottle. I don't need people to mail me whiskey across country.
I'm gonna start with just a little splash in my glass, neat to swirl to get some sort of sense of smell and aroma.
It's a nice little color.
Yeah, it's
Kind of an amber hue. And again, amber hue. One of my favorite dancers at the Peekaboo Lounge.
I miss her. So it's very light colored.
Yeah, it is. It's not a dark amber. It's a lighter one.
It's super light and fairly
Well,
light on the smell too. I get a hint of sherry and not much else.
yeah, I'm not saying here. Yeah, it's not like I said, it's not heavily peated, so it's just kind of a smoother whiskey.
Yeah. Gone to the ice cube.
All right.
Hear that?
Shall we taste? Virtual toast.
Let's give it a go. See
There's mud in your eye.
Yeah. See if you can be brave enough to try this. Takes a real hero to step up and.
Very, yeah, you know, not too bad. I'm actually doing neat. Usually I'm a rocks guy, but I actually went without a parachute on this one.
I like just a little bit of water in my whiskey, either from an ice cube or a splash of water itself. Depends on the day. If it's a warmish day, I like the ice cube. If it's a cold day, I just do a little water. But boy, talk about smooth. It's as smooth as a stripper pole.
Ooh.
TM.
And covered in alcohol like one should be. No, it's got a kind of a nice spicy finish to it.
It does. So I don't really get hardly any alcohol flavor. Very light on that.
I said to get the spices, the oak, obviously the oak.
Yeah.
Some cinnamon, I think, is what I'm getting also.
Okay. Oh, wasn't there
Yeah.
supposed to I'm thinking orange peel too.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can taste that. Yes, our palates aren't that well trained. Everyone at home, we actually looked up expected flavors ahead of time, just so we can know what to look for.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're just learning this stuff, and
Yeah.
sometimes you need some crib notes.
Yes, we are cheating. Like we said, we're amateurs and we're Nimrods.
But
if you're this far into the episode, you're pretty much emotionally invested. You're not tuning off anyway. So yeah, what I read, things to expect in this are oak, chocolate, orange, cinnamon, rose, sherry, fruity flavors, some spicy flavors, some sweet, maybe some toffee, a little floral taste, and maybe some vanilla and honey and malt.
Is that all?
That's all. Well, I've kind of combined like a few different reviews of what people have written in, so I just want to see what I can come up with.
Yeah.
Learn how to taste this. Eventually, one day I'll taste something and be able to come up with these flavors on my own. Besides oak, because it's made in oak.
I get the honey. I'm not sure I get the chocolate cream.
Maybe it was Easter and they just had a Cadbury egg.
Yeah,
I actually do get a little bit of the orange zest now.
Yeah, that I get. I think I am gonna do, when I get through this, I'm gonna do just another splash, just neat, just to really try to get all the flavors.
No, this is very good, very smooth. Like I said, if you're a first timer,
it's Dasani water smooth,
and got about $150 to kill, burn a hole in your pocket. This was a birthday present from Mrs. Nimrod.
Oh, outstanding.
Don't tell her. Remember, don't tell her I called her Mrs. Nimrod. The name's inherited. Go from a long line of Nimrods. So if we actually get anybody to listen to this and actually goes out, runs to the store, and makes a purchase based off of our review, you need a better life coach.
As I was checking this, the MaCallan out, I did find a special 30-year MaCallan that was like 12 grand.
Yeah. Once you get past 15, jumps to like 3 something.
Holy.
And it just jumps exponentially from there.
Wonder why that would be.
Because it's good.
That'll give us something to research until the next episode.
They're probably putting the 18 out of our price range so we don't drink and review it online.
It's probably intentional. They knew we were going to do this.
I would recommend this, and yes, gives the Nimrod thumb up, seal of approval.
You know what? We need to come up with a grading scale.
We should, like on a level of Nimrods. Oh, I almost forgot. I was supposed to do my big reveal, as I mentioned, Scotland. Put on my drinking hat.
Well, it's a lovely hat.
Thank you.
And you purchased it. You got that actually in Scotland?
Ireland, actually.
Close enough. What's the difference?
Yeah, go over there and say that.
I would say this is a light, mild, smooth, very easy drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be hard pressed to go wrong here, unless you possibly if you had more experience with Scotch whiskeys, you might find this to be missing something compared to if you have developed a heavier taste palate. But for everybody else, pretty good.
No, it's very good. No, I mean, I like some of the peated stuff also. It just kind of depends on the mood I'm in, what I'll drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is. I don't think this is an unpeated Scotch. I think it's just low peat.
No. Yeah. They kind of, there's peat in there, but yeah, not as much.
Right.
Maybe some episode we'll actually do an explanation of what peat is. Or Little Pete.
We'll talk about Little Pete.
Little Pete's the bouncer at the Peekaboo Lounge. He keeps
Which,
Amber safe.
They're not yet, but the Peekaboo Lounge needs to become a sponsor.
So I guess that's about it for this episode. We've given our final thoughts. We like Amber, the Peekaboo Lounge,
Yes, we do.
and Little Pete, the bouncer.
You know, they're all family, really. Thank you for drinking some whiskey with me, and thank you for watching us do it and talk about it.
Yes. Good drinking and talking to you again, Brian. You at home, thank you for reviewing. And as I like to say, may your bottoms be up and your worries be down.
Indeed.
Have a good day.
I'll drink to that. I got a fly in here.
Yeah, make sure that stays in.
What, this?
Yeah. These bees, oh my God.